What up, y'all? Forward fading back with a video, man. We're doing a reaction to American things Europeans can't understand. Be sure to like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. Let's go.
While the culture of the United States is exported all over the world in films and on TV, it also abides by some laws and practices that many consider unusual. Europeans in particular seem to have a hard time wrapping their heads around some of them. From child beauty pageants to gun laws, let's take a look at some American things that Europeans can't understand. Sick of commercials. If you're a European enjoying a cozy night in on the couch in America, some of the stuff on TV may shock and surprise you. And no, I'm not talking about Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm talking about commercials, which arrive so frequently it makes watching TV feel almost unbearable to anyone unaccustomed to it.
Seals leaks instantly. Use it on
Especially pharmaceutical commercials, which usually show grumpy men and women turned into smiling, happy people by the product being sold. These are usually...
Bro, commercials still exist? I didn't even know it like that. That's why you get on these streaming platforms. Zero ads, yeah.
Followed by...
You gotta pay for the upgraded version though.
An almost comically long list of potential side effects spoken at double speed, like Ambien ad.
As well as abnormal behaviors such as being more outgoing or impulsive than normal, confusion, agitation, and hallucinations may occur. Don't take it with alcohol as it may increase these behaviors. Allergic reactions such as shortness of breath, swelling of your tongue or throat may occur and in rare cases may be fatal. Side effects may include next day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. In patients with depression, worsening of depression including risk of suicide may occur.
These types of direct-to-consumer commercials peddle prescription drugs, which is an advertising standard that was rejected by the European Commission back in 2002. The Commission stated that pharmaceutical companies were unable to provide impartial information on their medicines. If that's the case, why is it practiced in America? To put it simply, there's simply never been a federal law passed to outlaw the practice. This is in no small part thanks to the fact that direct-to-consumer drugs and their accompanying ads are a huge business. And in America, whether it's right or wrong, the rules tend to follow the money. Europeans might actually need a pill for the headache all those ads give them. May cause drowsiness, loss of limbs, telepathic powers, and a violent hatred of cheese. No place like home. Let's say you're a European who's just moved over to America. You found a house in a nice residential neighborhood and you're going through your bills. Rent, water, gas, electric, all seems in order. But wait a second. What's a homeowners association fee? To a native, that's a pretty obvious question. But for Europeans, it's an unwelcome surprise. These fees contributes to the local homeowners association, which is somewhat like a neighborhood watch, but managing funds to be reinvested into the community. It goes towards things like residential maintenance and common spaces, which keeps residents happy and property values up. With around 24% of all Americans living under a homeowners association, they pay $200 to $300 on average per month in fees to these entities.
Dang!
Now, while some Europeans might struggle with this concept, it was a form of governance that was actually invented by France back in 1804.
Good job,
the
France.
condominium law was exported to the US, where it became incredibly popular. So, for any European that wants to complain about homeowner regulations and fees, feel free to blame the French. Vacant vacation days. The USA has one of the largest economies in the world. A tremendous economy, in the president's words. But Europeans looking to get into the American world of work are often shocked when it comes to vacation time. US workers are not entitled to mandatory paid vacation at all. Usually the issue of paid leave is left at the discretion of employers. And yes, that does include national holidays. According to research from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2017, only 77% of American workers had access to paid vacation. Now, the reason that might leave Europeans slack-jawed is because mandatory paid vacation time in Europe starts at 4 weeks. In fact, America is one of the only Western countries where law doesn't enforce companies to give its employees mandatory paid vacation time. Don't believe me? Take a look at this map breaking down mandatory paid vacation time by country. Only the great countries are known not to give paid time off. It's a working culture that undoubtedly favors countries are known
Hold up.
not to give paid time off. It's a working culture that undoubtedly favors employers over employees. Americans might want to think about learning Chinese instead, as employers in China must legally offer 5 days of holiday.
But like, if you got PTO hours, right? You store those PTO hours up. Sometimes they carry over, they drop off XYZ, but like essentially, I mean, those are hours that you use towards. I guess that's not counted as mandatory. I don't know, bro. But I mean, if they offer it, it's kind of like legitimized, isn't it? But it's crazy how you really just a number out here. They don't really care about you, man. They gonna work you like a workhorse. You know what I'm saying? So don't take your job too serious all the time, bro. Act like a person. In the sense of if you ain't feeling good, you don't feel up to par, don't go to work. Don't work yourself into a ground for a company that'll just replace you like that. You know what I mean? They don't really. I think that goes to a certain extent. A lot of people, oh, my company cares about me. Oh, yeah. I guess.
Although that is after one continuous year of work. Win some, lose some, I guess.
Yeah, after a year.
Florida man. If the American states could be looked at as a dysfunctional family, then Florida would be the weird uncle who once ran away with the circus and wrestled a tiger. The Sunshine State is the third most populous state in the USA and receives over 100 million visitors year on year. With so many people living between Miami Beach, Disneyland, and Pensacola, a little crazy is bound to be found on the fringes of society. But what Europeans aren't prepared for are the crazy antics of Floridians that make daily headlines. From Florida man believed that he was
It ain't no joke when it comes to these Florida headlines, man. Why is it always gotta be Florida? Even in my reactions to body cam, police dash cam material, I can't tell you how many times they're based out of Florida. Now, some people say it's the Florida water, but what is it really, man? What's it about Florida that people just be doing the wildest things? I don't know. The humidity, like, what is it, bro?
half man, half dog. In March 2019, to Florida man robs bank, strips naked, then runs down the street throwing stolen money everywhere. In July 2017, you can search the internet for almost any day of the year and find a headline announcing Florida man has committed an utterly baffling crime. There doesn't seem to be an equivalent for any European countries, although the UK comes close with some of its questionable journalism topics like
London,
Britain's
man.
fattest woman ate fridge and died.
Let me know the funniest local headlines you've ever seen at stories@bmas.com.
Good eye, Mike.
VAT trouble. In Europe, like most of the world, tax is built into the price of items in-store and online. So what you see on the tag is what you pay. But Europeans visiting an American store might be left doing a double take at their bill when they reach the register. There's no national sales tax or value-added tax in America. Instead, American taxes differ by jurisdiction, of which there are around 7,000. Differences in these local rates, state taxes, or combined state and local taxes means that final prices for the same item can differ from one street to the next.
Move to Texas,
For
y'all.
first-time shoppers in the U.S., this unpleasant surprise is a rite of passage that no one asked for.
Be like, sir, it's $1.07. He'd be like, bro, I thought I was paying 99 cents. It's the tax. The hell? That's crazy. See something 99 cent, you know, on the floor. On the shopping floor, 85 cents to be exact. You go up to the register, you pay 85 cents on the dot. That's wild.
Tipping point. A meal at a restaurant can be a real treat, but Europeans visiting America sometimes stress about the tip. Although tipping anywhere up to 20% seems normal to most Americans, there's no such obligation in Europe. Indeed, it's mostly seen as a bonus reward for good service, and in some European countries, it's even considered rude and excessive to leave a tip.
Wow, they need to bring that mentality over here, bro. Everybody, like, the thing I hate about America is everybody's so sensitive, man. Everybody's soft as hell nowadays. Oh my God, people wanna be like so offended for nothing. You left the 15% tip. Oh my. How could you? Like, bruh, shut up, man. Like, everybody want to have an argument for everything. It could be the littlest thing. There's people want to have some type of debate about it or be the contrarian. And that's the thing about the States, man. Everything's an argument. Everybody's a stickler about everything. Everybody's a critic. Everybody thinks their opinion matters. And I get, you know, the service industry is not an easy industry to work in. So I applaud folks that are servers, bus boys, whatever, man. But then even the servers themselves nowadays so entitled. Well, you only left me a $5 tip. You see all the viral videos of the Door Dashers who drop people's food off without handing it to them. They just drop it, or some people are very disrespectful with the food because the tip you gave them is not sufficient. So I mean, why is you accepting the DoorDash order if you didn't like the tip? You know the tip before you accept the order. And then folks got the audacity when it's time to drop off the food. Yeah, you should have tipped better. Man.
The American federal government, however, states that tips can be used to satisfy the difference between the
Tip these
employee's
dogs.
hourly wage and the standard minimum wage. This means food
Meet Waterpik
This means food service better be upper echelon. I'm talking about the tip of the iceberg. Feel me? Like,
servers, valets, and in-house staff in certain states can be working for a federal wage of just $2.13 per hour, which is about €1.96. So if you're a European visitor to the States, get ready to factor in your tip to the overall price of your meal. You might well be contributing to a struggling waiter's
everything already expensive over here, so you might as well fork up some more money. Come on.
rent.
Come to America.
Child beauty pageants. If you've ever been unfortunate enough to have watched an episode of Toddlers and Tiaras on TLC, I think you might side with the Europeans on the next matter. Child beauty pageants are common across America and usually consist of dolled-up little girls being thrust onto a stage to entertain a crowd of screaming moms. It's truly bizarre, but what's equally strange is how the craze got started. Child pageants originated from American Better Baby contests in the early 20th century. Babies would be scored on characteristics like weight, quality of skin, and face shape, supposedly in the name of helping to educate mothers on best practices for healthy babies. But of course, it wasn't just for education purposes. There were also cash rewards and trophies for top-ranking toddlers. This has slowly devolved into the bedazzled tradition of pushing a child on stage in full makeup and styled hair to do a dance routine for prize money. Although some European countries host similar but smaller events, others like France have gone as far as to ban all such pageants, claiming they're an unhealthy way to treat young girls.
Facts.
If you ask me, their general creepiness alone should be enough to slam the brakes on child beauty pageants. Honey boo boo?
That's just
No
weird,
thanks.
bruh. Let a kid be a kid, man. What's the point of taking them through all this rah-rah? And a lot of these parents, man, they so over critical on a 6-year-old kid. You know, like, that has to have some type of psychological repercussion as they get older, bro. Ain't no way. They're going to be like trying to be Little Miss America the whole life. Everything's going to be a beauty pageant held to a certain beauty standard.
Size is everything. According to an old
Sally,
saying,
you didn't put your makeup on correctly. Sally, did you add the blush? Sally, did you curl your hair? You know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna be, like, they're gonna say some really goofy stuff.
everything's bigger in
Sally.
Texas. But if you're a European, you'll probably think that about all of America, right down to its
Hell
people.
nah, Texas.
It's no secret that America has a little bit of a weight problem.
Damn.
2/3 of American adults classify as overweight, and it's estimated that almost 40% of adults in the U.S. aged 20 and over are obese.
She in the salad, though.
Contrasted to Europe, where a survey carried out in 2014 labeled just 15% of adults obese. That's a king-size difference, with a side of fries.
That's a huge-
The American tendency to overeat might have something
Boy,
to
eating
do
that
with
burger.
portion sizes in the States. A study comparing portions in Paris and Philadelphia revealed food outlet portions were 25% larger in Philly. And a review of 17 different single-serve foods like yogurt and candy bars found that 14 of them were bigger in Philadelphia. While a one-state to one-country comparison doesn't necessarily represent the whole, Europeans on social media often comment on how much bigger everything seems stateside.
You can get the picture, bro.
Have you noticed this difference in portion sizes? Let me know in the comments
That's why
below.
we fat. Everybody's
Bonus points
fat.
for food puns. Oh, sugar.
Oh, here we
Living in
go.
America can really give you a taste for the sweet life, but your teeth won't thank you for it. Why? Well, some American foods and drinks have been found to contain huge amounts of sugar compared to their European equivalents.
No way.
Some common bread brands contain up to 6 grams of sugar per
Yo, when I was in the UK, man, I remember all their cereal had like limited half the amount of sugar, man. Man, a box of Lucky Charms, bro. You know, Lucky Charms is sweet in the States. They got all that, the marshmallowy goodness in there. Their Lucky Charms had like half the marshmallows and it was like half the sugar content. I was like, what the hell? I think their Lucky Charms didn't even have no marshmallows in it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it is in the UK. And everybody be like, man, y'all fat, you know? And I'll be like, man, nah, we got it good, everything bigger. But when in retrospect, bro, like, we don't need all this stuff. You know, like, we don't need it. It's just to taste good and send you to an early grave. That's all it is, man. And sometimes you can't help it. You just indulge. But the older you get, man, unless you completely brainwashed, you know that it's just a facade. Send you to the early grave. And a lot of these products, you know, are just naturally addictive. Like all the sugar content. I know a dude who live off Dr. Pepper, bro. He had to have his Dr. Pepper fix every day. And I'm talking morning, noon, and night. He wake up, that's his caffeine hit, the Dr. Pepper. He drinking Dr. Pepper for lunch. I never see dude pick up a water bottle at all. Sugar on sugar. I never been a sweets guy though. I mean, as a kid, yeah. But it's crazy. Naturally, as I got older, I just never was into sweets like that. I can't just eat sweet things. Sweet things is only good for me to like clean the palate. Like if I eat a dinner, right, and somebody's offering ice cream after dinner, cool. But am I going straight to the you know, the freezer to grab some popsicles and ice cream? No. Am I getting all the candy bars at the corner store? No. That's just not me. The best I'll do is a Sprite. You know what I mean? That's the sweetest I'll go. I'm not into all these cakes and cookies. Like, I just can't do it. There's something, it's like, it's repulsing to me. Just a natural sweetness, just to eat it like that. Nah, it's got to be offset after. You know what I mean? After, it's got, like I said, it's got to be some type of palate cleanser to where I've eaten something hearty, some type of, you know, savory meal to where I got to, you know, kind of clean the mouth, clean the palate. Because after you eat something sweet, it kind of resets everything, so to speak. So that's the only time I'll really eat sweets. Like, I just can't do it. I'm a big savory guy, though. You know, throw me some baked Lays, you know, throw me some Cheetos, you know. I'm a big chip guy. So I'll stick with the chips and the crackers and things of that sort.
Serving, 6 times the amount found in European counterparts. But it doesn't end there. Taking a look at Pizza Hut's sugar content reveals most of their stateside pizzas have close to double the amount of sugar per slice as European
Why the
versions.
hell is there sugar
And
in
at
it?
Starbucks, a UK venti white chocolate mocha will contain 62.4 grams of sugar. But in America, that shoots up to 72 grams.
We don't do
I've
no
heard of
sugar in our
sweetening
coffee. We drink straight black. No cream, no sugar.
deal. But any Europeans making the trip across the Atlantic might leave suffering from the toothache. Gaps in the market. European standards of building a public restroom involve plenty of privacy, mainly in the form of cubicles with doors that are more door than gap. Seems obvious, but it's a standard that Americans just can't seem to adopt. With ridiculously large gaps at the top, bottom, and sides, it makes for a truly uncomfortable first visit to an American toilet for unwitting visitors. On their first time, Europeans are left feeling especially susceptible to unwelcome visitors
That's
and peeping
crazy.
toms. Some people even resort to taping up the gap to prevent prying eyes
Hell
looking
nah.
in. But as strange as the design seems, there are some theories as to why Americans build their stalls this way. For a start, high floor gaps allow for easier cleaning, and they do make it simpler to pass toilet paper from one cubicle to another. On top of that, the vertical gaps act as a deterrent for anyone thinking of doing anything naughty behind closed doors. But there's always the chance you might accidentally get a real eyeful. Maybe just close your eyes before entering any American restrooms. Triggered. It strikes many Europeans as a bit odd that in America you can pick up your groceries from one aisle of a store and a gun from another. Indeed, you can buy guns over the counter in places like Walmart, and ammo can be found in pharmacies. But seeing as guns are still legal in many parts of Europe, what is it that Europeans
Full access, baby.
find weird about the gun-loving, rifle-wielding, Second Amendment-touting American citizen? It might have something to do with America's gun-related death rate, seeing as per capita, there were 12 gun-related deaths for every 100,000 people in America in 2017. Very few European countries exceed 3 gun-related deaths per 100,000 people, and none even come close to America's 12 per 100,000. The causes of the problem are fiercely debated, but it might have something to do with how easy it is to buy a gun.
We get it. Firearms are super accessible, bruh. Everybody's scared of that. Foreigners are scared. Oh my God, you got a gun? I mean, you got to adapt, like I always say. People is so prone to guns, gun violence, and it's the nature of the country, man. High crime, high defense. So with that being said, people staying strapped. So yeah, man, comment down below. That's American things Europeans can't understand. I think they're well along the way in understanding at this point in time. But hey, if you have additional comments, comment down below, man. Peace, love, prosperity. We'll see you on the next video. We out.